Good morning. Good morning. It's me, Jonas, and I am not WDW Pro, but you know what I am? Well, I'm Jonas. And here with me today for That Park Plays Live is Erica from Erica and Raf, and Magically MJ is somewhere behind the great seal of Magically MJ.
The
Uh,
Great Seal. I like that. Thank you, Jonas.
no problem. You know, there's only two authorized MJ seals in the United States of America. One of them is at the Hall of Presidents, and the other is at the White House.
Dang, that's awesome.
I may be confusing that with a different
I
seal.
I was blessed to have these initials on my birth certificate. So it's like super legit because everyone asks, "Is that your real name?" I'm like, "Yeah, my initials are those are my legit initials and they're pretty cool."
I do. I think so
I like
too.
it.
I also like the phrase "super legit." It always reminds me of Luis from Ant-Man. It's like super legit.
It's
I love
super
it.
legit, bro.
Yep. Troy Gustafson had no idea when he put "hello there" in the chat that it'd be me. And apparently, I was not expected. But hey, and you're in the chat too. All right, let's see. Oh, and Juliet says hi, Erica.
Hi, Juliet.
No pro today. Oh, sorry, Pincon. We've got you here with the Tony Chopper Pro, or should we call it Prony Chopper? Prony
We're
Chopper.
kind of like the carousel of progress. We turn and you really at this point we don't know what the next scene is going to be. That's where we're at.
He says, "I'm secretly Professor Oak." Don't
Just a judgy.
don't take my ideas for the next one, please.
Oh, okay.
But let's see here. Mr. Neem, though, gifted one That Park Place membership. Thank you very much, Mr. Neem. Appreciate it. And Packing Protons says, which, by the way, Protons has been a member for 23 months. That's an amazing amount of time. Obi-Wan Season 2 might be in development.
Well,
You know what would be really great is if they did an Obi-Wan Season 2 and Obi-Wan wasn't a really sad guy. Like maybe he could be like a, you know, the charming person that we saw in the prequels and in the original trilogy. I almost said the sequels. Obviously, he only had like 2 lines. Yes, he did have 2 lines in the sequels.
My camera's acting up. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, it still shows your smiling face, so it looks like it's working.
it's way better than a
Halfway
lot
there.
of other people that I've seen with like bed sheets and pillows behind them. So you're good, Erica.
Well, I had to unplug everything last night. We had a lightning storm come in.
Mhm.
So, sorry.
Well, we do have a substitute until you get that worked out. Hold on one second. Let's see if we can bring it in here.
Oh, gosh.
The lovely and talented Ron Bradley.
Hey, Ron, what's up?
Good morning.
Super talented is the word.
This is my
Buenos dias.
por favor. I can't say it. Montanés? I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. Montanga, Los Brazos, and everything inside your ride vehicle. No apuras. No
You know-
alcapurias.
Better than that.
You know, I'm not an Orlando resident, so I don't get to go into the parks as often, and I especially don't stay at the resorts very often. And I actually got on the monorail, and I'll tell you what, there are inner city buses that smell better than the monorail right now. What is up with that?
Damn, city
That is
buses
true.
that
That
smell
is
better.
true.
A lot. Oof.
Yep.
Please stand clear of the smell.
Yep. Text 54. Jonas has gained weight. I'm not fat. I'm festively plump. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I like that. It looks like you were like lifting weights. It doesn't look like anything else. It just looks like a really buff Jonas. So
As long as we don't have Jonas in the buff, I think we'll all be good. So I run live streams a little bit differently than WDW Pro. They tend to be a little bit more casual, but it is his show, and he did ask me to step in and run this show. So I'm going to try really hard to do the WDW Pro thing on this show today. And let's get wait. I got to press a button here before I get right into it. Hold on. Here we go. One of guests' favorite features of the Walt Disney World Resort is that you can go to anywhere in that resort and there'll be a transportation opportunity available to you for free. And it has been that way for decades. You would say since the beginning. There was an ad campaign that said, "It's all on us." Well, it may not be on us very much longer. It looks like the test a few weeks back may be just a plan of what's to come. Disney Springs Resort bus verification expected to become permanent at Walt Disney World. It looks like you have to be staying at a resort or have a reservation or have an activity that you're paying for in order to use any of the Disney Springs Resort buses. Y'all, this has been a staple of the parks for a very long time. What's it going to be like when you have to show some form of identification and verification before you get on one of those amazing Disney Springs or Walt Disney World buses?
I'm just trying to figure out and understand what Disney is trying to do here, just as a whole in the company. I mean, my understanding, the attendance hasn't been anywhere near what it used to be prior to the pandemic. They're hiking prices, they're stripping this, that, and the other. They're monetizing on nickel and diming everyone to death. And now this. But don't you want your guests to go to your resorts to spend money on food and merch because they have merchandise that's specifically themed to the resort? That's why we like to go resort hopping.
That's very true. Actually, they do sell even like toy versions of the transportation there at Disney. Let's read a little bit of the article, and then I would love to get MJ's comments on this. The move follows a successful test during the Easter period where cast members scanned magic bands at the Disney Spring bus loop to confirm guests had a valid resort stay, dining reservation, or recreation activity before boarding. I've heard some rumors that they're not doing more magic bands in the future. Like that might be something that they just hold on to as a legacy item, but they're not pushing for more magic band stuff. I think that this makes magic bands almost essential if you actually need it to get on transportation. Our sources tell us, and that would be WDW Magic sources, that the Easter trial was considered a success with the verification process helping to free up capacity on the transportation system. It also addressed a longstanding issue of guests parking at Disney Springs and using Disney bus transportation to reach the theme parks, bypassing parking fees at the parks. Do you think that's really going to stop people here, or is that worth the trade-off here? MJ, is that something that you think that is going to be more likely to bring people in, or is it going to be another instance of Disney nickel and diming guests?
I don't see it as nickel and diming. I see it as control, traffic control, because the resorts, in my opinion, are for paying guests. I understand that people do enjoy going around, and resort hopping is a thing. It's been a very big tradition for many years because it's fun. You get to try different snacks and tasty treats, and like Erica was saying, merchandise. You actually could even, like at the Riviera, you can get the ears, the Skyliner ears. Those are pretty popular. They're not anywhere else on property. But I like the fact that they're doing this because it almost makes the resorts exclusive to the guests that are paying to stay there. They can get a little bit busier, especially not so much the value, but like the moderate and the deluxe. When you're staying there, you don't want to be swarmed by a bunch of people that are not even on property, right? You want to kind of like keep the traffic down, in my opinion. I happen to be a fanatic of staying on property. I rarely go to Walt Disney World and not stay on property. It just, for my accommodation, it works best for us as a family. And you know what, to be honest, you can get some pretty good deals staying on property. A lot of people have this thing where they feel like they can't afford it. You can. There's very good deals out there. You just have to go at the right time and plan your trip ahead of time. And that's why they have value, moderate, deluxe. So you go according to your budget or save up. If it means a lot to you, save up, right, for like a year or so, and get a really good travel agent, or just know how to plan your trip properly. But for the buses leaving Disney Springs to go to the resorts, I appreciate that, because Disney Springs, as you all know, anyone and everyone can go there, and the parking is free. And I kind of like this. That's just me.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now, looking at the requirements here, it says to board the resort hotel buses from Disney Springs, you'll need either an active Walt Disney World Resort hotel reservation, a confirmed dining reservation that's at a resort hotel, or a confirmed recreation activity such as a boat cruise. It says it's going to start before the July 4th holiday week and is going to become permanent. Now, last year and in the year before, there weren't many people at Walt Disney World Resort, or sorry, inside the parks on July 4th. We were actually kind of surprised by that. Ron, were you there July 4th last year?
No, the last time I was at the park on July 4th, I think was 2023, which was, but I went to Animal Kingdom and it was dead. I mean, like literally everything was walk on. Again, I was at Animal Kingdom. But my understanding from what I have seen other people post about and everything the last couple of years, people flood the Magic Kingdom around 7 p.m., but during the day it's like dead. But people have gone there to see the fireworks. And then friends of mine said last July 4th. Now, I got to say, it's got to change this year for the 250th, but last July 4th, the fireworks were shorter. So I think look, I've been to the parks recently. Magic Kingdom has tons of, the red, white, and blue bunting up everywhere. They look this year like they're in line with. They have more patriotic gear in the stores than things with rainbows on them right now, which is highly unusual.
Right.
As far as
there's usually different flags going in June at Walt Disney World. So the thing that I'm thinking about here is, if this is only for bus transportation, and I guess I don't know how the test originally worked, if it was something outside of the bus that had to be scanned, or if people literally have to get onto the bus before they get scanned. I can imagine there'd be a lot of confusion there. Right now, there is the monorail loop that goes around, basically around the lake there. Is that Seven Seas Lagoon? Bay Lake is on the other side of the loop, right? Yeah. And Seven Seas Lagoon is inside the loop. It seems like that doesn't require any verification whatsoever. So if someone were to, I guess you couldn't park at one of the resorts, but you could be dropped off at one of the resorts and walk in. You just need to secure transportation elsewhere. I don't know. This just feels like it's another instance where Disney is taking away something that used to be free and now replacing it with something that you need to have a cost consideration for whatever it is. I understand why they do it, and the revenues per capita at the park are going up, but it also is a sign that they're really moving away from that Walt era of doing spontaneous trips to Disney. Like, it seems like everything you do, even if you are planning on starting your day at Disney Springs, maybe you want to do breakfast at what is the name of that one with the apostrophe in it? Home cooking?
Homecoming?
Homecoming, that's it.
Yeah.
And then
home cooking, it sounds good though.
It does. It's almost like home. It sounds fantastic. It seems like biscuits and gravy. Looks like they got fresh squeezed Florida orange juice and all the wonderful things there to start your day there, and then go to the parks and maybe end at Disney Springs. I don't know. It seems like that's the kind of thing you should be able to do. I think if you have a park ticket, you should also be allowed to use this. I don't know. I don't know if this is the kind of thing that if everyone says no, Disney's going to bring it back. It didn't seem to work with Magical Express. We'll have to see.
I just wanted to let everyone know that there is ways around this.
Oh, yeah.
I can spend like 2 hours or more talking about how you can maneuver around. It's just Disney Springs that they're doing it from, but
I've never gotten on a bus from Disney Springs. I
I was just gonna say that.
I have gotten on the friendship boats over to Port
Mhm.
Orleans.
Mhm.
And I don't know if it's going to change for the friendship boats, because it's kind of a nice thing to be able to go over. Like, let's say that you just want some beignets
Right.
and
Mhm.
you're at Disney Springs. You're like,
Yeah.
hey, let's go to Port Orleans, French Quarter,
Yep.
stop off there, grab the beignets, and you can go right back.
And you can
It's-
mobile order that. So if the boat captain needs to see something, just mobile order it and show them your phone and you're good to go.
I
There's
don't think the
so
boat
many
captain's
ways
a check. Yeah.
there's so many ways around it. We have the Skyliners, and Jonas, you already mentioned the monorail loop. So just
could technically
don't take a bus from Disney Springs.
Yep.
You
It's a nightmare putting a stroller on a bus anyhow, you know.
I wonder how, what are they? I mean, you can do it from the Disney Springs bus loop specifically, but imagine all the resorts, like, because it's not difficult for people to go, oh, hey, I can walk over to Saratoga Springs and catch a
Exactly.
bus.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah, it's
and
right
I'm
there.
not
It's right
like,
there.
and anybody can figure that out. That's not a hidden secret or anything. It's a pretty obvious thing. So it's kind of surprising to me that they're even, like, my biggest thing about this was it a problem? Were there like a ton of people going on the buses from Disney Springs? I'm saying
That's
this because
my thing.
I'm a local and I've never done it.
I
I've
think it's
never
the
taken a bus out of
complaints
Disney
from the
Springs.
deluxe resorts. The guests from the deluxe resorts are complaining about other people being in the property that probably aren't staying overnight. If you catch my drift, I don't want to get into it too deep. I think that's where the complaint's coming from.
Yeah. Well, either way, if you're a pass holder and you're wanting to go from Disney Springs onto the transportation there, you're going to have to find another way to pass. We have some breaking news from Wild Man of Yavin for $20. Ron hates me.
What is happening?
We all know
So
it.
funny.
Kidding.
Oh my
Mods don't need to delete my chat based on an inside joke. Just saying. What did you do, Ron?
I love Wild Man.
When you said you shall not pass, I had a visual of the real life fake wizard at Disney Springs standing there and telling everyone you shall not pass.
Shall not pass.
Yeah.
You shall not pass.
That's what they're going to have to do to stop this, is hire a real life fake wizard.
It makes me think of Robin Hood, Men in Tights, where he's like, no, look, I'm on this side. I'm on that side. I don't need. If you can't pay the toll, you can't
I
toll the
love
toll.
that movie.
Yep. Archer Merchant for 5. Like the movies not doing well, the $50 kids days don't seem to be pulling what they thought in Disney and California either. So I have a theory on those $50 kids days that they're not actually to get more people in the parks. It's kind of like donating to a charity. I think it's so that they can say that they do that. So yes, there are days you can get into the parks for cheaper, specifically to get kids into the parks for cheaper. But it's not a ton of days. And there are I think there's 2 days a year that they do discounts without that specific discount. So they can say, yes, if you go on, and it's going to be like the worst, or in my opinion, the best day to go, meaning the almost empty days. Yes, you can go in on those days for a reasonable price, so that they can say when someone complains, oh, it's between, and then give this bottom range onto it. So that's just my opinion, though.
Yeah, it's a good theory. I mean, yeah,
Yep.
I can see that.
collecting with Rob. It's become a huge problem with the boats at the French Quarter. Wait times to get to and from Springs have been crazy at that resort because people not staying at the hotel are coming for the beignets. Yes, the last time that I tried to get beignets, I'm going to say I was not staying there. I was staying at Saratoga Springs,
Mhm.
and I took the boats to French Quarter, and I wanted to get some beignets. And they either need to have multiple places that sell beignets,
Yeah.
or I
Me.
could have waited like
Mm.
2 hours. I ended up
Oh.
buying every king cake they had, which when they say king cake, it's like a donut with some
I don't like
icing on it.
king cake at all.
It's not really a cake. But yep. Mo Zamboni has a different color palette today. Yes, I'm an old man. Fake Asian wizard Black Jonas for
Oh my
$2. Hi, fiddly ho, Panarinos. Jonas is fat.
Oh,
That's
Oh.
right.
that's actually PHAT, right? Pretty hot and tempting. Is that-
Mhm.
isn't
Yeah,
that-
that's what I've
okay.
heard. That's what that stands for. Thank you. Thank you very much, MJ. Captain
Wow.
Fandom Nerd, member for 27 months. Good morning. Well, good morning to you. And I haven't said it yet, but good morning to Juliet. It's actually good evening to Juliet. But,
Hmm.
you know,
All those cool avatars. I love it.
but
Mhm.
thank you so much to everyone for the super chats. Let's get on to the next story.
It's showtime! Straight from the heart of the park.
Do you hate artificial intelligence? Is it ruining your life? Is it something that you just see people complaining about on the internet? Well, now Diz Twitter can complain about it too, because it looks like the Disney website was doing a test of their new AI software. Disney's AI-powered search feature appears briefly on Walt Disney World website. This from WDW Magic. And there's already an editor's note on it. An AI-powered search feature appeared briefly on the Walt Disney World website this morning, giving guests an unplanned first look at how the resort may handle trip planning questions in the future. The feature labeled AI Overview, I guarantee you that's not the name of this, appeared at the top of search results on DisneyWorld.com before being removed. It carried a cast preview tag indicating it was not intended for public view. Are they saying it's not safe for magic? I don't know. First of all, let's point out that anything that doesn't have a fancy name on it is probably not the final product that Disney is going to offer. AI Overview does not have enough pixie dust on it, even though it's got this little twinkly thing right here. It's going to be named like, it might be pixie dust itself. It may be Tinkerbell. It'll be like Genie with that system within the My Disney Experience app. There's no way they call this thing AI Overview. But that being said, it looks like the first result was, I'm still learning and don't have information on that topic right now, but I can help with most food and beverage questions. Looks like this leaked way early. What are your thoughts? Who wants to venture the first opinion here on what it's going to be like for guests to use an AI feature to learn about their Walt Disney World vacation?
It's I mean, the AI search is everywhere, so it's
Yeah.
as far as I can tell, it's just something that they kind of don't have a choice. They look, if you go to Google search, if you go to, I mean, you got Gemini, you got Grok, you got all the search, they have to implement AI. Unfortunately, they don't have a great record with interactive tech. So look, going back to what they initially intended, I think, for Galaxy's Edge, because when Galaxy's Edge first opened, I was a cast member and I went there on a night that was it was a cast member preview night, 2019. They had special magic bands that they were giving us to use only for that night to see how the interactive part of the land would work. And even that night as cast members, we were like, "This sucks." Like all the cast members.
Yeah,
were
I've,
like,
I've,
"This
I've
is-
seen some of
this
the
is awful."
previews. I've seen
Yeah.
some of the interactions there, and Jenny Nicholson has the famous
Yeah,
4.5 hour video in which she somewhere in that goes to Galaxy's Edge as a Galactic Star Cruiser guest and talks about the scanning of QR codes and
Oh.
and things like that. It was not a very
It's
Disney experience.
horrible. Right.
Now-
So my point is simply that when it comes to tech and implementing tech in my Disney experience and everything, they are just so behind the 8 ball that I mean, I don't know if they'll ever get it right. We'll see.
Yeah, the interesting thing that I've seen in trying to interact with AI directly, if you talk to, let's say, ChatGPT or Gemini, and I don't know, those aren't my AIs of choice, but whenever let's say you put a story idea, like you say, "Hey, I'm going to write a story, and it's going to be about an adorable hamster that decides to build a robot factory." You know what the first thing it's going to say to you is? "That's a great and original idea that everyone will love." You know,
Yeah.
AI has a I don't want to say a mirroring problem, but it has an overly indexed positivity into it. It's something where there's almost a bizarre level of positivity that comes out of AI because it wants to keep you interacting with it. It wants the entire experience to be positive. Now, if you go to Disney customer service of let's say 20 years ago, over the phone, they're impeccable. They were
Totally.
the
Yep.
best at customer service in a way that I know people who applied to work for the Disney company, that even the rejection letters they got for applying to work with the Disney company, they almost felt apologetic for bothering them by applying by the time they got done with the process, because the rejection letter was so immaculately and professionally and politely written that it was unbelievable. That white glove service extends to even the most tragic of things that you might get from the Disney company. So I wonder if an AI could be trained at a level that is up to what should be Disney standards. Because I look at this, and this could be a tool to get people more insight in how the parks, I should say, or it could be something that is to reduce cost and reduce the workload on that white glove service. Erica, have you had past experiences with Disney customer service that you could compare to, say, trying to work with some of the modern artificially intelligent customer services?
I mean, I've had the old school interactions in the past. I have not experienced this yet with the whole AI. Last time we went to Disney was 2024.
But
Yeah, so
what was the old Disney customer service like?
it was just for one, a smile. They look you in the eyes. They nod their heads. They listen and pay attention to what you're saying. They repeat back what you're saying to ensure they understand what it is, if it's a complaint or even a praise. And they go above and beyond. If they can't find the answer, they will find someone who will find you the answer. In some cases, I've had cast members look around and say, "You know what? Let me just take you there myself," and actually guide us to the right area of the park where we needed to be for whatever wherever we needed to be for what, if we were lost. But I have also experienced the opposite, where it's as though they can't be bothered,
Yeah.
and
No,
and they're
that
okay with telling you, "No, I'm sorry, I don't have the answer," and that above and beyond service isn't there like it used to be.
that brings up an interesting question for me. MJ, have you ever had a call center employee that doesn't care say, "I understand"? Or have you ever had a robot like an AI tell you, "I understand this is frustrating"? What would your reaction be to a response like that
I
versus a human saying it?
Yeah, I try to like bypass the AI stuff when I call customer service, and I demand a representative. I don't give it a chance to try to assist me at all, because if I'm usually I have an app for everything, or I have a login to a portal where I can just get stuff done, right? So I can resolve my issue or whatever I need to get accomplished. But if I have to call, I'm going to demand to speak to a live human being. I don't really prefer to talk to an automated system, because they're not, it doesn't work well. They either don't understand what you're saying, or you have to continuously repeat yourself, or the option that you need is not available in the little list of stuff that they give you. Press 1 for this, press 2 for that. And I'm like, well, I don't need any of that. Get me a live human being, please.
Yeah. This is interesting. About 6 months ago, I got in the mood to go through the drive-through, and I went to a Checkers or Rally's, depending on where you are in the United States. It's the same restaurant, and not one you should probably go to if you're hoping to eat healthy. But I go in and I go up to the drive-through, and I'm just gonna say I don't have high expectations for the customer service at this point. And then I get an AI that is taking my order at the drive-through, and I thought, I could either view this as a negative, or you could kind of take advantage of the situation. You could ask for okay, well, what's on this? You could ask, okay, if I combine this and that and this, and then what is that going to cost? And they'll give you the actual answer without having to be like,
Yes.
and they'll have to find it, and they'll have to do all this other stuff. So, there could be some tools, depending on how they implement this, that you could find the absolute best deal. Or you could say to it, I wonder if you could say to it, when is the absolute cheapest day to stay at XYZ resort? Or if I changed partway through my trip, if it would be better in order to maximize my time. There are things that can be done with AI that you can't do with a customer service agent without, I'm going to say, taking your order into your own hands. Now that's different for fast food than it is for the Disney company.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one thing is you can just list your entire. Of course, I've got the avatar everyone is calling fat as I say this. You can just say your entire order without waiting to hear whether or not they're getting your order if you're ordering from an AI drive-through attendant. And you don't have to worry about the human element. With this, I wonder what you could do to take advantage of it. Of course, the thing that comes to mind to me is that Meta and Instagram have had an issue, or maybe it was a different company, so I'm going to throw in allegedly on this, that people were contacting an AI-driven customer service team in order to change passwords and verification emails on social media. I hope that Disney has all of this locked down before they get to that phase. And I wonder how much power this thing will actually have. Or will it be something that's so locked down that it can't actually help you? It's just strictly informational. Ron, what are your thoughts on, as being a former cast member and being replaced by AI, what are the worries that you would have in handing something like this over to a system?
Well, it's an interesting question. It really, it depends a lot on how the AI is trained. I don't know what cast member training has been over the last several years. What I do know from the inside, from cast members that I know that still work for the company, I had a phone call about a year ago. I was talking to a cast member, and when I left, I had still been trained, and maybe it was my particular management. I always went above and beyond to assist guests. If a guest was eating at my restaurant and they had a problem in the park with somebody, I would do everything I could to take responsibility for a problem that I did not create and make it right for them. And I mean, we did specialty free dessert boards for our guests or whatever, just any type of thing we could do to make it right. And it's the type of thing that certainly an AI is not going to be able to do. But the thing is, I had heard from another cast member, this was after I left, that I talked to my manager about doing something like that the other day and say, yeah, the guest experience is not our number one priority.
Oh,
And
that's so scary.
Did they say what their
Yeah.
number one priority was?
Holy cow.
Basically money. That's what they basically said. And I was dumbfounded because it was somebody's manager at Disney that told this to this cast member. Obviously I can't reveal sources for their own sake and stuff like that, but it's I was flabbergasted. I was like, you're kidding me, right? Like, no, this is a new training that we're receiving. When I went through traditions class, we were told that we could either get a write-up or possibly even being fired if a manager heard us tell a guest, I don't know. We weren't even allowed to say those words back when I was trained. We would say, let me find that out for you. And we weren't like, and we would go find somebody else. We would leave the guest. There was a certain thing where we were literally told if a guest asked us directions to something like a restroom, and they were going that way, we should take a minimum of 3 steps with them in the direction of that, to start walking with them. Like this is the way I was trained. I would
it's the little things
above and
it's
beyond.
the Disney, it's the little things in the Disney difference. And that's what laid the landscape for all these other companies to do the same thing so that they could give their guests that kind of experience. But look, as much as AI is out there, like Gemini and Chat and Grok, I prefer Grok if you ask me, but I don't like doing it, but life will find a way. That is why there's so many forums, blogs, and people gathering online in social media groups and all of these other things, because they rather rely on each other, because there's always going to be an inside source that's going to give the information, and then you guys can talk amongst yourselves about it. But life will find a way. People will continue to fellowship, to discuss what's going on in the parks and how to maneuver and get around things such as transportation hiccups and whatnots, right? What is the best way to make a reservation? How do I get into this restaurant? All of these other things. Humans are going to continue to be the elite. Life will continue to find a way.
I totally agree. But you know what the answer is? You still can't say, I don't know, as a cast member, but I know what you can say. I'm still learning and don't have information on that topic right now, but I can help with most food and beverage questions.
That was a good one.
Let's see what. Oh, we lost Ron. I guess the Disney snipers got him. Fake Asian wizard Black Jonas for $2, or it could be YouTube verdant let the F-spring roar.
Wow.
Okay, fake Asian wizard Black Jonas. You enjoy yourself there. Wild Man of Yavin gifted 5 WDW Pro memberships.
Yay.
Thank you so much. And you know what button we press on that one?
Every time a membership is gifted, a content creator gets his wings.
Is that gendered language?
We're not at Magic Kingdom, Dad.
It's the one and only D-O-double-G.
I love that clip.
Yeah.
Fake Asian wizard Black Jonas for 2. Love you, Jonas. I'm praying with you, man. No cap. Thank you very much.
Wow.
I need all the prayers I can get.
All of us.
Sounds like I'm joking, but that's for sure. Mr. Deem for $2. Will AI search help us find discounts? Or I think there's a lot of or on that. What's funny is I wonder if the Disney AI can exclude itself from being searched by other artificial intelligence. I think that's going to be the interesting thing. Is AI being tested by other AI? If you can have, the joke is the lidless eye that never sleeps in Lord of the Rings, like the Eye of Sauron. That's essentially what artificial intelligence can be. You can just leave that thing to run forever and ask all the different questions you want to ask it. And I don't know. It could yield some interesting results. Fake Asian Wizard Black Jonas says, I see Jonas spending an hour at the drive-thru arguing with the AI about pricing. Yes. Oh, by the way, speaking of which, you should have seen how snotty the attendant was when I asked if they understood my order. Well, yes, it's a state-of-the-art artificial intelligence that, I'm like, okay, buddy.
All right.
You're very proud of this artificial intelligence that you
That's funny.
obviously implemented yourself between shifts. Thunderhair 666. I will admit I like those little Wendy's kiosks. I can hem and haw and change my mind as many times as my dumb little mind requires, and nobody is annoyed by it. But you know what you can't get at those Wendy's kiosks? 4 large patties on their own. That's my usual go-to order these days. So
yeah, you like ex-nay the bun, right, Jonas? For some
reason.
Yeah,
if you order a burger and take off the bun, it's like twice as expensive as just ordering the patties themselves, and some people will ring it up that way. But anyways,
Jonas is a patty man. All
maybe
right.
maybe Andy Masterson will forgive me on that one. Well, even though we've lost Ron, we should get into the next story, and this will be an ironic bumper for us.
There we go. One more for the top. Triple decker, just how you like it.
Wow, thanks, Mr. Wolf.
You enjoy it.
We will.
All right, this one out of That Park Place. Major heat wave approaches Disney World and Universal Orlando. Here's how you can beat the heat. This by Cham Lee. By the way, if you're ever on the website and want to go add us as a preferred source over here on Google, that would be very helpful to us. Central Florida is experiencing a heat wave that will affect outdoor conditions at Walt Disney World and Universal Orlando Resort, also SeaWorld. Forecast models indicate this warm pattern will continue through June 20th, with afternoon highs generally in the low to mid 90s and heat index values frequently reaching and exceeding 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Yikes. Hey, Erica, is that a day that you would want to be in the parks?
No, I think I'd rather be at the beach or a pool. And gosh, it's been about 106 over here.
That's amazing.
In the desert. And it's not even July or August
yet. Yeah. What's the big secret here? Hold on. We've look like we're about to have someone else join us here to talk about it. Ron, you're the perfect person to ask. If it's 100 degrees in a let's say an average place, how is that different from 100 degrees in Central Florida?
Growing up in St. Louis, I'll be honest with you, 100 degrees in St. Louis was almost worse than 100 degrees was almost worse in St. Louis than it is in Central Florida. It's very humid. I've lived in Las Vegas and I've lived in Florida, and 100 degrees in Vegas does feel a bit cooler because it's a dry heat, which I know is a phrase that's overused, but it's not humid like it is in Florida. If it is like I was out today and it was already starting to get hot. I think 91 when I got in my car, and it was like you just sweat. It's like you just have to like it's almost the worst part of going in the park in the summertime is even if you can deal with the heat, you have to know that you are going to be wet, and so is everybody else because everybody is sweating. Please wear those things that prevent you from smelling because that is one of the biggest issues is and I tell you, when you sit down in like a stadium or an outdoor theater, like going to watch Indiana Jones or something like that, and then you sit down, somebody else sits down next to you, and like and they're not properly adorned. It's
deodorized, Ron. Deodorized.
Yeah, not properly adorned is the other issue that happens when it gets hot at theme parks, which I'd say is more of a problem at Universal Orlando than it is at Disney.
I've seen some things at Disney lately that you'd be.
Oh yeah, I'll just say, Disney World is a family park, y'all. anyways, there's a lot more like teenagers and college age people going over to Universal Orlando these days. That's probably the reason why that is. But I don't know. I open up this to anybody, but I'd love to hear from MJ first. What are the things that people can do to actually beat the heat when it's this bad at the parks? MJ, do you have any tips that you would offer to our audience here?
Oh yeah, there's quite a few, but you'll have me here for hours. Let me try to summarize it.
Give me about 2 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. Take advantage of the free water park ticket, because the entire group, party, family, whoever you're traveling with, if you're staying in the same resort together or the same room, even if it's different rooms at the same resort, it doesn't matter. As long as you stay on property, you get a free water park ticket until September 8th, and that should help you cool down. I would try to experience the park in the evening hours after 4 if you can. That way you're not, getting the beat of the sun, which I would say from like 11 to like 3, the sun is really beating on you. And for the love of God, do not wear jeans. Try to get some dry fit wear, or almost like that bathing suit material. And you can find it really cheap at like Target, Walmart, places like that. Just light clothing, wear comfortable shoes, and make sure you use a lot of things to deodorize yourself so you're comfortable and not making others uncomfortable.
I think the deodorize thing is a real key that a lot of people underestimate.
And there's so many different things on, like, I don't know if people are crazy about Temu, but there's so many things that you can buy for your park day, like the little fans that spray water. They have the umbrella hats. There's so many things that you can do to stay cool if you must do a park day and stay in the park from morning to closing time. But yeah, no, just take advantage of the extremely hot days. Take advantage of the free water park ticket perk, and then try to do the park in the afternoon, evening hours so you don't suffer.
The wet towels, because I saw this in the comments, the wet towels or the water towels or whatever that you put around your neck, those actually are an incredible help. And they do keep you cool. Anything on the back of your neck that you can keep cool, or the fans or any of that kind of stuff. I like, and stay hydrated. Make sure you're drinking enough water. And I still go to Starbucks for the free water. You can get free water pretty much anywhere, but most of the Starbucks, I was at Magic Kingdom the other day, went into the Starbucks just to test it. And I say, hey, can I get it? I just came in for water. And they're like, okay. And they grabbed, the big cup, like this big.
A Trenta cup. Yeah.
They give you, and they fill it with ice.
Yep, and that's a triple filtered water, so it tastes like nothing. That's a little bit of coffee lore. That's actually the key to Starbucks brewing consistently, is they don't count on the water in your local area tasting the same as the water in wherever else. They actually filter it themselves, so it tastes the same no matter where you go for Starbucks.
Yeah.
I'm reminded of when the Jedi Temple training was there at Hollywood Studios, Disney MGM, may it rest in peace. And standing there and watching my kids going through the Jedi Temple training. By the way, they did defeat the dark side completely. They went over to Star Tours after and told them that in the ride. It was adorable.
That's beautiful. Yes.
But standing there, I could feel the soles of my feet baking through the rubber in my sneakers. My tip to people would be to keep moving as much as possible. And even if you're standing in line, if you're not standing in shade, try to make sure that you keep your movements going. And if you stop sweating, go drink water immediately. So, this is something that happens frequently in Central Florida with the heat getting, let's say, unseasonably warm, but it happens every year. So just be aware, if you're going in the time of year that everyone seems to go to Disney, stay careful out there, and don't stay thirsty, and try to, sweat a little bit, but enjoy the time in the heat, and maybe take it as a way to let all those toxins leave your body. So. Just a Dutchie for $2.49 in euros. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much, Just a Dutchie. Always appreciate your positivity. Hope you're having a great day out there in Netherlands. And well, I didn't mean this as a segue to the next super chat, but Packing Protons for $2. Rest in peace, Tinkerbell actress. Yes, the lady that was used as the model for Tinkerbell passed away, I believe, at the age of 97. I'm not sure her name.
God bless her.
It's
I posted it on my Instagram, so you guys can check it out. They paid a really nice homage to her, and they showed all the scenes that she did for the artist to be able to draw Tinkerbell the way that they did. And I think she actually got one last photo with the Tinkerbell that flew through the, when they have the Tinkerbell flying from the castle to I forget where she lands, but yeah, she took a picture with her. I thought that was very special.
Yeah. I love that they still do Tinkerbell flying from the castle. They don't do it every night. I have not seen it every single night, and I've watched a few fireworks shows, but I love that they still honor that legacy of Tinkerbell.
Yes.
It's probably caused a character that, is a little bit more controversial nowadays to still have a presence at the parks. Peter Pan is one of those ones that, looking at it, I think the Stories Matter division didn't appreciate Tinkerbell very much, and they didn't appreciate Peter Pan very much. Like let's say there's representation issues in their estimation, but everyone loving Peter Pan has forced them to keep it around. It's not like Song of the South, where the fact that it didn't get released caused everyone to put it into this legendary status about how bad it has to be. I'll say this. There are things that are currently existing in the Disney canon that have worse depictions than what was in Song of the South. And Song of the South not being around for people to look at and go, is that all it was? Has probably pushed that into a legendary area, and how bad it supposedly was. But,
yeah.
See, irate specialist member for 5 months. Only 5? I don't know if we should read this.
Sorry, I wanted to clarify that wasn't Julia Roberts. Just for
No, although she did a great job as Tink.
I love Julia Roberts as Tinkerbell.
Yeah, that was great. Hi, Irate.
Yep. It's I see you out there, Irate. I was almost. I guess I will say good to see you. Member for 5. Hey, lol, just getting here. Keep up the good work. Oh, see, now I feel bad that I gave you a hard time. Andy Masterson out here giving Starbucks what for? I complimented their water, not their coffee. Just have to say that. All right. Well, you all might be here to hear about the next Disney park. Well, let's get into that.
It's showtime! Straight from the heart of the park.
This story out of Forbes: Disney expected to announce new theme park. Yes, it's true. Is it a fifth gate? No, not so much. This one out of Caroline Reed at Forbes. We always love hearing out of Caroline Reed and her writing partner, Christian Silt. Disney is tipped to imminently announce that it is developing a new theme park as part of a $60 billion investment in its experiences division, which generates the majority of its operating income. It's widely expected that the park will be built in Shanghai alongside its existing fairy tale themed outpost there, and the announcement could come as early as next week. Tomorrow, the resort will begin 2 days of celebrations to mark its 10th anniversary, with Disney's chief executive officer, Josh D'Amaro, flying in for the festivities. The invitation received by this author doesn't refer to an announcement and simply invites media to join us to celebrate 10 years of making magic together. However, there will be plenty of opportunity for an announcement to be made. Disney's in an interesting spot right here. It has been 10 years since Disney Shanghai opened up. And that is a resort that it's impressive in some ways. And in another way, I wonder if it lives up to what maybe Bob Iger's expectations of what a Disney Shanghai park should have meant to the bottom line of the Disney company. Ron, you're chuckling. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, just thinking everybody here at Walt Disney World is like, oh, maybe we'll get a fifth park. And then, oh, no, we got Shanghai.
Actually, really funny.
I was,
I'll come back.
I've seen talk about this. I've seen the rumors that are flying around about this second Shanghai park, and it makes sense. I mean, Shanghai's a big location. Chinese people like it. Iger was apparently pretty good with the government there.
Yeah. It takes a lot of economic activity and relational activity to make sure that China loves you enough to allow you to build something as large as a Disney park on that scale. And I'll say they have forced perspective in every single castle park in the United States, Paris and Hong Kong, Tokyo Disneyland, all of that. The Storybook Castle at Shanghai, I'm not sure that they had to use forced perspective on that castle because it is just that large. This is, if we go by size alone, it's an amazing park. I've watched the walkthroughs of that park over and over and over again. And then when they did an overlay of the park map so you could see where you are relative to everything else, I watched it again. It's a fascinating park physically, but it's also in a place that I'm not sure that Walt would be crazy about there being a Walt Disney Park. Erica, we're 10 years in on Shanghai Disney. What do you think if Walt Disney were alive today, he would think of this company having a park there that is in a country similar to China?
I don't know. That's a hard one. That's a really tough one to answer. Speaking for a dead guy, either he would see the evolution of where we are today and be like, sure, why not? Or he'd be really against it. There really wouldn't be a middle. It would either be absolutely, let's go for it, or no, we're not doing this.
Yeah. No, one of the things that happened when Bob Chapek was in charge of the Disney company, supposedly in charge of the Disney company, he had the chief executive office, even though Bob Iger was still technically his boss at the time. He tried to lessen the economic impact of the Shanghai park on the rest of the company. There was rumors going around that Bob Chapek was trying to figure out some kind of licensing deal, that if things went south in U.S. relations between them and China, that there would still be money coming back to the Disney company, even if, say, there was some kind of business split that said that U.S. companies couldn't own a park like that. For instance, the TikTok deal comes to mind, where TikTok couldn't operate in the United States while being owned by a Chinese parent company. So I think that internally it's still controversial. I know Bob Chapek has been since exited from the Disney company, but China and its ever-changing stance with the United States, I wonder if this is the kind of thing where Walt's universal image, the idea of the small world after all, where we're all this brotherhood of man, just one moon and one golden sun, all that idea from the Sherman Brothers, if that would outweigh the idea that Walt Disney himself absolutely 100% despised deep down into his bones communism. Like he hated it more than I think most Americans hated communism.
Wasn't he called? He was accused at one point in his career.
Well,
and he had to fight that.
If he was accused of many things, but I don't think communism was one. He was usually the one accusing other people of communism. So when people tried to unionize the animators at the Walt Disney Company, Walt Disney said they're a bunch of communists, which they all said, those animators said, that's ridiculous, which I think it turned out being true, by the way.
I'm just trying to think about the parks in Asia in general. Like we have the one in Japan. That's a pretty decent size park, if you ask me.
Yep.
But
Disneyland
Shanghai
and
is
Disney Sea,
really
right.
But Shanghai probably
It's
needs this
ECP.
because it's really small.
Oh no, Shanghai is huge.
No, she
Well,
is Hong Kong. Hong Kong is small.
Hong Kong is
Okay, the
small one,
Hong
yeah.
Kong one is small. Okay, I get confused. There's so many. I'm like, but yeah, I could see why they're doing that. I mean, now,
Yeah.
do you guys think I'm trying to picture the difference between the one in Hong Kong and the one in Shanghai? Yeah, are they like, how do you need to catch a flight, or is it just a drive away? Thinking if you're living in that continent.
Hong Kong to Shanghai is a pretty far away. Hong Kong, I believe, is an island, and it's in the southern part of China. Obviously, my Chinese geography is bad, so people can call me out in the comments if I'm wrong on this. This is fine.
Mine is
Shanghai
too.
is more north and to the east,
Okay.
far to the east in China. So it's a different area of China, which is a pretty large country anyway. So I don't know the exact distance between the two, but they're far enough away that they're not taking each other's business. Other than
That's what I was wondering
Hong
about.
Kong would have
Okay.
been.
It is a
Hong Kong or
a
Tokyo
2.5.
would have been the first. Go ahead.
It is a 2.5 hour direct flight from Hong Kong
Oh.
to Shanghai, or 8 to 11 hours by high speed rail.
Oh, they
There
have
you go.
they have a railroad that goes there.
I looked
That's
it up on
interesting.
Disney's.
Oh, yeah.
Public
Well, they-
transportation.
Disney AI gave
Right.
you that information, Ron.
Now,
just Google.
I will say this does remind me, and it's a different economic environment than it was, but Walt Disney Studios, which is now about to be renamed to Disney Adventure World out there at
Mhm.
Disneyland Paris,
Mhm.
Walt Disney Studios was built out of obligation because Disney would have lost the deal for that land had they not built Walt Disney Studios. And for the longest time, that was the worst Disney park. I think when you're dealing with someone like the Chinese government, which owns a large portion of Disney Shanghai, I wonder if this is something that they have to do, or if it's something that they're trying to do specifically to show the illusion of progress out there at Shanghai Disney. I don't know.
I'm gonna
Does
go
anyone
with
have any
that.
thoughts on that?
I think it's that, and Disney's just desperate for any kind of business. I don't think they care where it comes from, and if it gives them the green light to obfuscate how well they're doing or how not well they're doing, that's just where they are right now. Oh, look over here, we're doing so great over here.
And speaking of items that were Disney really wants people to look, do you know the last time that Disney got a huge bump in stock price was? Do you remember what the announcement was?
No,
It was
everything's convoluted now.
Disney World Abu Dhabi. And right now, the Walt Disney
Oh, you
Company
just read
seems to
my
have
mind.
a magnet pulling it to $100 a share. Now, it does go below $100 a share, which we've watched many times on this channel. But currently, the Disney Company is sitting at 101.62 as of the recording of this segment here. I think that this may be the kind of thing where they want shareholders to believe that there's big movement happening at the
Mhm.
company. So the announcement of another park, I don't think they can do that just yet in California. I don't think a fifth gate is a good idea when they've got Disney's Animal Kingdom suffering as a park the way that it's
Yep.
suffering right now. But they could do this out in Shanghai, where I think a lot of these American investors go, I don't know anything about that because I'm never going to it. So,
Mm.
this will
Fair enough.
probably move the stock price up, unless there's some expose out of China that says this is a horrible idea, which there won't be. There
But
absolutely
if
will not
Shanghai
be.
is large enough already, why are they adding? I'm just curious. Like, I'm trying to process everything. Why are they going to make it expand it or add to it if it's already large?
I think
And we
it's
have
like
the
I think
Mhm.
it's kind of like when Congress passes laws, even though they don't need to pass laws. I think they like the illusion of movement
Mhm.
more than they
Yeah.
they
Wow.
need to see. It's a perpetual growth idea with Wall Street. They need to always look like they're expanding revenue. So we'll do a we'll do a fast pass system, or we'll do a multi pass system, or we'll do a premium pass system. They'll announce a new thing or a reformatting of something that's broken into something that's broken in a different way. This is the kind of thing. I think the Walt Disney Company currently, its largest, most important audience is probably their shareholders as far as all this goes. And announcing another Shanghai park, that seems like just the kind of thing that would move that stock price up. in my opinion. Anybody have any thoughts before we hit the button?
Just, I mean,
The
it does look like when you look at the layout of Shanghai Disney, you look at the land that's available there. It looks like it might have been in the plans all along.
Oh, yes, of course.
I need to see the
you know,
map.
So,
I
so
should've
the
done that.
real question is the timing of all of this, because so many people. Okay, like I look at what they're doing at what I guess is considered. I mean, Disneyland is Disneyland, right? California, but Walt Disney World is supposed to be the flagship destination for Disney. It's huge. It's freaking 40 square miles. It's the size of the city of San Francisco. There's plenty of space to do stuff, yet they keep destroying beloved attractions and just replacing that same footprint with something that people that don't like as much. And it's it's almost it's hurtful, right? Like when you're a Disney fan and you see, oh, Disney Abu Dhabi, oh, another park in Shanghai, oh, like, you know, you have plenty of space to do new things at Walt Disney World. Why? I don't know. It bothers me that the
No, I
creators
hear
of the
you, Ron,
company
because the
don't
overseas
see
parks
that.
get everything really like, I feel like they get better stuff than we have over here.
Yeah, I would agree, and I think it's because other corporations outside of the Walt Disney Company are paying the development costs. One thing I will point out: Hong Kong Disney was built on the idea that it would expand. In fact, the second site that was out there eventually was used, but it was used by the Chinese government to create a camp where you concentrate very hard for long periods of time. It was a medical facility where people stay whether they would like to or maybe not. So I'm going to say maybe this is a preemptive move by the Disney company to make sure that they get their theme park instead of maybe having to give it up for something else. I'll just say more power to you, Josh Damar, if you can turn this company around, and you'll be doing something that will bring you dangerously close to Bob Iger coming back to the company if you actually start to move that stock price up.
But he's only.
I am so sorry. I hit the button and before you started talking.
No,
what were you going to say? I want to hear it.
With Tomorrow changing the company around and this deal in China expanding the park. I mean, I don't understand how he would get so much, I guess, positive attention or clout, whatever you want to call it, if at the end of the day, the Walt Disney Company is only really, it's just a licensing deal, right? It's not like they're really reaping in all this money that they would be if they would pay attention to their domestic parks here in the U.S. in the same way.
It's a complicated situation because as far as the U.S. is concerned, and they disclose this on their financial statement, so I'm not trying to say that Disney is not being truthful, but they're willing to accept that people have a misunderstanding about how the parks work. Like, so when they talk about something coming to Tokyo Disneyland, they don't own Tokyo Disneyland. It's a licensing deal out there. It's going to be something similar for Disneyland Abu Dhabi, which is probably going to be Disney World, Yas Island, or something like that. This is something where they're happy for the audience to be confused, and therefore the shareholders who have
on the audience's ignorance, and they're willing to run with that.
Right. There's a lot of shareholders who have kind of a low information diet on Disney, so they don't understand that fans hated Mandalorian and Grogu. Or sorry, I don't want to use the word hated. I don't want to speak for everyone. Fans were apathetic to Mandalorian and Grogu. So that's when we get a big campaign that says, oh, Toy Story is coming back. And by the way, the Toy Story franchise has had $30 billion in revenue for the Walt Disney Company since 1995. Okay. Well, who is that? When they release a piece like that, the only people that should be interested in an article like that are, one, people who just want to say team sports, yay, Team Disney wins, and two, shareholders who are going to get confused at how much money these franchises should have made. So, you know, it's something where if you start to realize they're not actually talking to you and me or even their own audience. They're actually talking to a third party that's trying to crunch the numbers. It really flavors everything that Disney does. It's so fascinating to me when you realize they're not quite playing the same game that they probably should be playing. Let's see. We've got 2 more stories left on the docket. This is where Pro would use the rhyme to say we're going to rock it. And I'm going to throw in one more here. They got rid of the waterway that would have been sailed by Davy Crockett. Let's get to our next story.
It's showtime! Straight from the heart of the park.
Back in the fight with Disney, the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District overtook the Reedy Creek Development Act to become the governing body that is over all the land there at Walt Disney World. This was a body that before DeSantis made the changes was able to act unilaterally without consulting anyone, taxing without representation, and without the votes of the tenants of the district. Some 60 or so tenants were unable to have their voices heard in the area until Ron DeSantis came in and said, you know what, we're probably going to update this here so that Disney can't build a nuclear power plant or an airport without talking to anybody. But now, years later, the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District is making a change. They used to say that the Reedy Creek Development District the Reedy Creek Improvement District was not being very transparent with the people of Bay Lake. And now SIFTOD is turning off their live streams so that no one can know what's going on for SIFTOD. It's not quite the headline that we have here, but that seems to be the headline that this site right here, WDWNT, is going for. So SIFTOD, I do believe I was first person on our live streams to start calling it SIFTOD, has decided to end their live streams. Guys, do you know why they've decided to end their live streams? Do you know the stated reason is?
No.
Nobody cares.
Oh, yeah, well,
They had
That's a
single
good
digit
point.
viewership. Yeah, they had single digit viewership on these things. And I used to watch them every single time they would air. I forget the name of the guy. Maybe his name was Garcia. The guy who used to run these things was such a boss, and not in a like I'm gonna kick butt and take names kind of guy, but people would come into these meetings hoping to really show him what's for, and he diplomatically listened to them. People would accuse him of getting rid of something, and he would point out like I feel for you, I'm sorry, the thing that you're describing is something that was illegal and was found by the Supreme Court of the state of Florida to be illegal, so we want to make sure that you're not committing a crime by getting this perk, and that the people who give you this perk are not committing a crime by doing it. So this was a fascinating situation here in which Disney was allowed to operate with impunity for 50 or 60 years. Most development districts like this have some kind of sunsetting clause in them to say they'll go away after a certain period of time. Universal Studios has a commercial development agreement with Shingle Creek down there, in which they're going to be developing the land around Epic Universe. And when it's done, they're actually going to hand it back over to the state or the county, well, whatever the local district is there. After it's developed by Universal, they'll hand it over. So it's a public and private partnership. That's the important thing that goes on with these. But with the Reedy Creek, what is it? RCID, Reedy Creek Improvement District. Man, I'm already starting to forget. It's like it didn't matter. This is something that it wasn't going away, and there were people who were retirement age between that if they were born at the start of it would have been at retirement age before it was going away. This is something that really couldn't be allowed to last, but now WDWNT here is saying no. Getting rid of the live streams here is a sign that there's some malfeasance going on. We're going to add one person to the panel here who may be able to weigh in. Culture.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Central Florida Tourism Oversight District quietly stops updating meeting videos and social media.
Yes, they're ending their live streams because no one was watching them, and they had to pay a person in order to they had an entire person on staff in order to facilitate these. But
maybe this is part of the reason why they want to get rid of the park streamers so badly is because nobody wants to pay attention to the people they have in house. Xenia Muncha would not be pleased with this.
Oh no, Xenia would not be happy. Is she still working at TikTok? The Central Florida Tourism Oversight District hasn't been updating its social media pages or its YouTube channel. It's been 4 months since the last board meeting live stream. Plus, it hasn't issued a public-facing press release on its website in nearly 2 years. For reference, CFTOD is the governing body that oversees the land of Walt Disney World Resort. Each month, CFTOD would live stream its monthly board meetings on YouTube, but that hasn't been the case for most of 2026. Looking for CFTOD's YouTube channel, the last live stream meeting was on February 27th, 2026. Even beyond the live streams, they haven't uploaded a board meeting video since December of last year. At the time of writing, CFTOD's website still indicates that the Board of Supervisors meetings are live streams and recorded on YouTube. The site also does not list any upcoming events. So this is basically WDWNT is very upset that this DeSantis appointed board. What's funny is they're appointed by the governor, but then they have to be approved by the state Senate or Congress or whatever in the state of Florida. So it all has to be approved by whoever the governing body is there, the legislature there. And those people are then put into this spot where they work with Disney in order to make sure projects are getting permitted properly, and that the proper water, the environmental impact studies are being done. And this is one that apparently WDWNT is worried that I guess DeSantis is going to take over or something if people have to do a Freedom of Information request or if they have to look up the meeting minutes themselves. Is there culture? You're the person who trusts the government the least out of anyone here on this panel, I'd venture to say. Do you see this as a huge danger for Disney being taken over through a lack of transparency?
Yeah, first of all, everything is made public through public meetings and everything else. This is the most transparent this company's been in a very well since they started operating in Florida. So I like the transparency of it all. Maybe some people can throw some roadblock of objections in front of it, saying that the government's too heavily invested. But that would be an argument for the entire state of Florida, which is governed by special districts, including the Villages, which is a retirement community company that just keeps popping those things up places. So if that's the question, my answer is I'm not worried about it. It's more transparent than what existed before.
Yeah. At the time that this happened, there were a lot of people that were acting like DeSantis was going to have a personal seat on the Walt Disney Company board, not directly or in effect at this point. As far as projects being developed to the Disney Company, has there been any stalling in new projects being announced at the Walt Disney World Resort? MJ, Erica, do either of you feel like that there's an end to the number of developments that have happened?
State of Florida is letting Disney just shoot themselves in the foot, from what I can see.
That's actually a really good point. When they talked about the water study that had to be done in order for for Tom Sawyer Island and the Rivers of America to be approved, everyone was saying, even calling out to Ron DeSantis to say, can you please stop this?
Yeah, I remember that.
And their hands were tied. Essentially, they said, no, you need to do another water study here. And that's about all they said. So we were watching with bated breath. We had Ron checking out some of the sites there and trying.
I had to hide in bathrooms for you guys.
Exactly. I wasn't gonna point out your corner office there.
He pulled an Aaron Brockovich, Ron Brockovich.
I don't know what I did in there that the bathrooms currently have to be renovated, but they're closed right now.
What did you do?
I wouldn't have love for the state of Florida to be like, nope, sorry.
Yeah.
to save
You know,
Disney
they
from
are
themselves. But
they are trucking ahead at Walt Disney World with so much construction right now. It is. I have never seen what I would call, from former CM point of view, not just bad show, the worst show.
Yes.
Okay, so a lot of people may not understand the term bad show. So show was one of the key elements of the Walt Disney Company. The 4 key basics, when they only had 4 keys, was safety, show, efficiency, and courtesy. Not necessarily in that order, but show was like the number 2 thing after safety. And show was very important. Like, so you obviously you had construction walls when something was going on, and they used to have these, when they put the construction walls up, they would paint them nice, and then they would put like signs on them, and they would have sayings by Walt Disney. You know, it's fun to do the impossible, that kind of thing. I went by the wall the other day that's in front of Rivers of America, and it literally has the name of the construction company on the sign where it used to be Walt Disney's name. I was flabbergasted. But behind all of that, it's so bad. I mean, you can see everything that's going on in the former Tom Sawyer's Island, Rivers of America land. They've got, I don't know how many different cranes back there moving earth. It's really funny because in Columbia Harbor House, they have put some they put some stuff over the windows so you can't completely see out, because those windows you can see right into the area, but they've already been peeled away. So people have sat there and peeled it away so that you can still see into the area, and they just let that happen. It is so yeah, I would say that SIFTOD is probably like Erica said, allowing the company to shoot itself in the foot. It's I don't know, maybe there are enough Disney adults or enough Disney fans or enough, people that will never stop coming no matter what Disney does. I always say that there's definitely Disney fans who truly believe they're so it's almost like a cult like worship of Disney, to where Disney, no matter what they do, can do no wrong, and those fans will continue to come, and they will still they will cheer on. Disney could destroy Walt Disney World and be like, yes, that's exactly what we wanted, because they're that big of fans of Disney, rather than being able to step back and appreciate what Walt gave us and realize that a lot of what Walt gave us is still there. Some of it, unfortunately, is being destroyed. And some of it will never come back, and it's truly sad. But I still have so many friends that work in the parks and are cast members, and it's even for them, they tell me it's not the same as it once was, and it's the whole state of things. Yeah, it's just different.
So Ron, here's the thing that I would point out is, if anyone has not seen it, there's an excellent video on the channel Clifflix, in which Cliff goes through and surveys, for lack of a better way to put it, the last days of Tom Sawyer Island and Rivers of America. So the idea that SIFTOD was going to be the savior of the Disney company as far as turning it politically to the right, or doing something to stop Bob Iger from destroying the parks, that's obviously gone. If you want to see an example of what Walt Disney's Disney World is like, I recommend checking out that video. Erica, MJ, do you have any thoughts here on if there's anything that we need to be looking out for, if journalistically that Park Place needs to be stepping in and attending these SIFTOD meetings so we can find out just what's going on for DeSantis? What are your thoughts on this whole situation with SIFTOD turning off their live streams?
Well, they don't want us to hear what they're talking about. Usually, like, I'm thinking about board of director meetings, because as you guys know, I was an HOA manager for a long time, and those are supposed to be available to the public. I'm not sure how this works in this instance, but something tells me that if there's not a minutes taken for the meeting,
Oh, there
how else
are.
would
There
okay.
absolutely are. So
Okay.
so there are still minutes taken at the meetings, and they're all still publicly available. The
Okay.
meetings are still open to the public, which they weren't in the past.
Ah,
What's funny is when the meeting minutes happened in the past, when those records were extracted, they would actually say, and this will allow us to function exactly how we were when Disney actually had control of it. And they would say, yes, you have to sign this. It was a very, it was the people who were working at Reedy Creek Improvement District had @disney.com email addresses in some instances.
I would absolutely put in a request to review the minutes after each meeting has taken place. That's my recommendation.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
here's the thing:
people
if
are so-
nobody's watching this and there's minutes taken and there's records of this, it doesn't serve anybody to worry too much about that. This is and look, I mean, Jonas just said this is more transparent than it has ever been. I mean, I don't see an issue. I don't know why that's just me, but maybe not.
At this point, does it even matter? It's Disney is destroying itself. So what does it matter if Sif Todd is doing anything to help or not help it? It's
Sif
like
Todd-
it's a disaster.
Just answer me this question, Jonas. Can Sif Todd change Disney's internal culture?
No, absolutely not. Unless that culture is built on fraud and disobeying the law.
I
Which,
just
of
feel
course,
like
it's
this
not.
company-
But could Disney be paying off people at Sif Todd to get what they want? And could Sif Todd essentially kind of lie on those minutes? Oh, here's what we discussed. Wink,
Well,
wink.
they could,
I mean,
but at the same time, these, I actually really do appreciate the implication, but these meetings are essentially open to the public. Anyone can go to these meetings.
Okay.
The schedule
They
is
have to be
posted
careful
publicly.
regardless.
So
you would have to put in do you put in a request to attend, or you can just show up?
no, I think you can just show up. So nobody go there and say you're that Park Place, please.
No, it's like a town hall meeting, but I will go back and say this a million times, like we've all said it on the panel. The minute that this company became political, that's when everything went downhill. When they were family entertainment focused and creating the landscape of entertainment and creativity, animation, with the family fundamentals in mind as their key point, that's when they were thriving. But the empire is slowly collapsing. We're already seeing the attendance rise at other theme parks around the world that are not Disney. So it's just a matter of time. They're hanging on to their entitlement, if you will. Yep. And because of that, that's why people will continue to book their vacations, especially families, right? With children. They think this is the destination to take. But I feel maybe in the near future, more and more people are going to be leaning towards other types of vacations around the world, because more and more travel agents are getting educated on how to sell packages to get folks out overseas. And there's a lot to see and do. Our country is gorgeous. There's a lot to do here. But if people really want to explore like the islands or snow in Europe, there's other destinations that people can do for family vacation. And Disney is just holding on by a string, if you ask me.
Well, with that being said, it looks like Ron DeSantis didn't deal the death blow to Disney that was once thought out in the papers. It was a deleterious death blow by DeSantis, though. I should have put that one in there. The first Dragon Queen for $5. Oh, my word, Jonas, you are being held hostage. Hugs for all. It's true. It's true. They told me I had to talk about Disney today, whether I wanted to or not. On the Friday show, we end up talking about McDonald's a lot. And people are like, what's wrong with you, man? It's like, well, it's kind of like trying to get over your ex,
Oh, my.
Well,
irate specialist for $2. Don't feel bad, Jonas. I'm sure I deserved it. Lol. What? There's always these people that talk about, eating McDonald's is like eating out of a cardboard box, a deliciously salted cardboard box. iRate specialist for 2. Culture, check your DMs.
Thank you. I'm going to be on Floral's channel tonight with the dog.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
That'll be fun. Come on.
I hope so. I hope so. That would be good if they did that this time. Let's see. I love the channel, but I wish everyone's audio level and the videos transition clips could all be balanced. Balance is key. We'll work on that. Sorry about that. Let's see. My sources tell me that SIFTOD has lightened up on Disney in some areas and gotten stricter in others. SIFTOD isn't appointed by Disney as RCID was. SIFTOD is appointed by the state.
Yep.
That's very true.
Yes, it is.
All right. We have got one last story that we want to talk about, and it's about a smooch. A celestial smooch.
I just can't wait for 3 days of you and me.
If you're like us here on That Park Place, we've been wondering for a very long time, why is it that Epic Universe has not had fireworks show every single night? On opening day, they had an amazing fireworks show that you can actually see on Peacock today that ended with the word epic being projected onto the sky, not with a projector, but with fire. One of the most amazing paintbrushes that these major theme parks have. Well, it seems that Epic may finally be delivering on what they never really promised, but we assumed that they were promised. It was an implied promise. Let's talk about this. Out of Fox 35, Epic Universe's jaw-dropping fireworks show, Universal Celestial Goodnight, debuts next month. This by Camille Sarabia. Universal Orlando has announced that Epic Universe's first ever nighttime spectacular, Universal Celestial Goodnight, will officially debut on Tuesday, July 7th. So after July 4th, running nightly, the multi-sensory production will utilize dancing fountains, advanced light projection systems, and a massive fireworks finale to illuminate the central hub of Celestial Park.
Yay.
Oh my. So it's not just that they're adding fireworks to the fountain show. Let's see what they have to say about the projection show. The show, included with standard admission to the new theme park, draws inspiration from 5 immersive worlds that open to the public in May of 2025. Here we go. Universal Celestial Goodnight, a nighttime show with a fireworks display, dancing fountain, lights, blah, blah, blah. The glittering new fireworks finale, Universal Orlando said, will light up all of Celestial Park in a captivating display. Park guests are invited to cap off their day with this new experience.
Beautiful.
That looks great.
It looks amazing. I love the name that they gave it, Universal Celestial Goodnight.
I thought it was the Celestial Kiss Goodnight, so that's what the smooch comment was before. But man, I must be stealing from Disney's.
Well,
Kiss
fans
Goodnight
can call it. Fans can call it the Epic Kiss Goodnight. We're going to call it whatever we want, and it's going to trend.
That's right. I want to call it Unbridled Jonacity. Can I do that?
And I'm just thinking about the view. If you're staying at the Helios, and then you can see this from your room. How nice is that?
Well, actually, I think depending on what side you're on, I believe that the fireworks launch pavilion is on the opposite side of the park from the hotel. So I think you may not be able to see the fireworks in the same way. So you may have to be on the peninsula side. There's a little island in the lake there that they made. So I wonder if the best place to see this fireworks spectacular is going to be inside the park, maybe at Astronomica, and hopefully they don't turn on the water jets on you while you're sitting there.
That could be.
If you want to see the fountain, you need to be in the park. And I wonder if the projection is going to be against the Helios Grand there. See, this is the thing that no one has talked about. And I didn't know if I was assuming, and I had a Universal executive that I was grilling for answers, may be the best way to put it. It was a very nice person. And I was trying to get out of this person. I'm also not going to give away their gender here in all of this, but I said, okay, so I'm looking at Epic Universe, which has not opened yet. And I see that you have this fountain show. You have an entire park that can light up synced to music. and it looks amazing, even without the fireworks, even without the fountain. And you have this fireworks peninsula out here, and everyone is questioning about why there are no fireworks. And then you have this massive hotel right here that, according to this photo that we have on screen, it looks like it can be lit up in different ways. It also seems to be a nearly flat surface that they could do projection mapping on. So at Disney, they do projection mapping. And Culture, maybe you want to comment on this. They do projection mapping as if Cinderella Castle were just a paltry television screen. Do you think Helios Grand would be any kind of issue as far as projection mapping goes?
No, not at all. In fact, it might even be simpler. Yeah. Look, I mean, projection mapping requires you have a photostatic image, and then you draw your boundary lines based on what you want to, highlight as part of the features of what is going to be your projection screen. And then you can draw into it dimensions with what you project, et cetera, et cetera. And so, to be honest, I think the Helioses would be pretty straightforward, and it would be beautifully incorporated into a show like that without much trouble at all. You just really have to have some super bright projection in order for it to work well.
And could one of those dimensions be the Dark Universe? I'm sorry,
Certainly.
I just had to say that in that way, even though I know you're talking about axes as opposed to dimensions.
True.
Yeah. Who here has been to Epic Universe?
Me.
So we got Ron, and I don't know. if
I've been
Culture's
holding
been.
off on purpose because there's
I-
so much coming still, and I want to savor that, and I'm not in a rush to
I'm saving my first time to Epic to go with my friend.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and
Kind of
and-
same, same here
yeah,
too. Culture.
I have a friend that may or may not be on this panel that I'm waiting to go with. So.
That's a good system. That's a good system.
Yeah.
I remember talking with some of the team member. I think they're called team members at Universal, right? At when I was out at
Yes.
about the fireworks, and they even told me at the time. They said, "Well, right now we've only got the introductory fireworks on the opening day, and then like the July 4th and New Year's Eve." But even at that time, they said there are plans to bring a fireworks show nightly to the park. We being the team members talking to me at that time, they just said they were not sure when that would be, but they had all been assured that would happen. So it looks like, hey, finally we're getting it. And the great thing for me is I'm not going to have to leave my house to watch the fireworks.
We know you're so spoiled, Ron.
I
See
am. I'm
all
a bit
the
spoiled.
fireworks.
I'm close enough to be able to see them.
That's
I
amazing.
wonder if the
That's 6
Helios
miles.
will have in the near future like a firework viewing area, because none of the rooms have balconies, I don't think.
I'd imagine there's probably some fireworks viewing packages in that bar that's at the top of the Helios. So I'm just going to say, on its own, the light package inside of Celestial Park is already amazing. And each one of these lands, I haven't been to Dark Universe at night. When I've gone, I've generally gone with family members. So I haven't yet had the free reign to go in there without worrying about some of the younger ones being scared. But Super Nintendo World, amazing at night. Celestial Park, amazing at night. There's a different quality to the Harry Potter Land and Isle of Berk at night. It's maybe not as pronounced as the one at Super Nintendo World, but I think that this is something that especially if we've all watched for them to extend the park hours here for this park. They're generally closing at 9, maybe 10 p.m. I'm looking forward to them bumping later into the evening. The other one that comes to mind is Cinesational, which is the fireworks and drone show that's over at Universal Studios Florida, the Studios Park over there. Sorry, I hate naming that because it sounds like I'm naming the entire resort. But I think that Universal is trying so hard to move into the space that Disney is slowly exiting here as they raise their prices, and we question whether or not Disney is going to reclaim their spot as the family company. Let's see here if they say anything at all about the light projections here. No. Let's see. High energy musical score, a finale to the show, 7 million LED lights embedded throughout Celestial Park. That's amazing. and it's free if you go to Epic. It's included with your ticket. Now, the other thing that we've seen is that there are conventions that have included with their admission to the convention that you can go into Celestial Park. You can't go into any of the lands and get on the rides, but you can get into Celestial Park. So I wonder if this is going to end up being a free fireworks show for literally everybody who wants to go into Epic after a certain time of night. I don't know.
Good point. That's a good
High
point.
up is every November.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it, and I think everybody here, well, seems to be looking forward to it too. Let's get back to the super chats. The editor's going to have a difficult time with that one because I ended the clip at the wrong time, but he'll survive. Job though. Packing protons for $5. Wouldn't know. Never got far enough to get to that point of having an X.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Oh, poor Packing. I would
That's a
say
cute
me
avatar,
too,
though.
except that
The
that I'm
doggies.
it's because I'm still married to mine, so she's not my ex. Spring 91 Bear for $2. Harry CSUN is a woman. Am I right, America? I've never met Harry CSUN, but he seems to be a serial monogamist. But I don't know. No, he's not really a monogamist. I've heard some other profligating things about him, but I don't know the guy, so I'm not going to confirm or deny. Oh, I see. I understand what that was a reference to now. We were talking about the UFC thing. Yeah.
Speaking of UFC, but not really, it's more of the MMA. Did you guys see the presentation at the White House last night? It was so nice.
Yes.
It was so good.
I didn't see it. Are you talking about the fight? Was there something other than the fight?
There was the fight, and then it was the celebration of the president's birthday, and
Yeah, the intro was fantastic.
oh my god, it was
The clip-
that's a once in a lifetime thing, I think, right?
Yeah, the
Culture?
clip. Yeah, that the clips from that were incredible last night. In fact, Benny Johnson put up a clip on X of his perspective from beginning to end, including the jet flyover, which was phenomenal. Yeah.
breathtaking.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We usually don't talk about politics on this channel specifically, and it's not like the WDW Pro channel where he says we only talk about politics when it intersects with entertainment, and it always intersects with entertainment right now. So we can talk about that whenever we want. As a theme park enthusiast, as a live entertainment on that scale kind of enthusiast, I think one of the biggest tragedies of the disrespect for the military that's kind of come through in the United States is I used to go to air shows at MacDill Air Force Base growing up. And one of the coolest things was watching the Blue Falcon. Sorry, is it the Blue Angels and the Golden Falcons?
The Angels, yeah.
The Angels. So we went, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if my dad was like trying to pull a fast one, so we didn't actually go in because the air show is above you. So we didn't pay for admission to sit in the stands. We just drove up in the parking lot. Anyways, one of the Blue Angels did a turn above the parking lot, and every single car alarm went off every time they did a turn above the parking lot. There's just something so cool about the Air Force doing these shows.
Yep.
And I wonder if we've kind of lost that with this idea that we need to we don't need to trust the government implicitly, but I really like when the military does cool things that relate to people, when they show impressive things that we can do. And it's kind of an inspirational, aspirational thing to do in front of like kids, and I love the idea of it's almost like superheroes in a way, aspirational things that anyone can do. And I feel like we've kind of gotten away from that. I love the idea of honoring the military and honoring the country in a way that makes people go, no, we're the best. We don't need to talk about why they got free crappy healthcare in some other country. I bleed red, white, and blue over here, and I'm here for it.
Yes.
They do still have air shows, but they have curtailed since the incident that occurred in up in the Panhandle, there was a bad collision and we lost one of our pilots. And from that point on, they really curtailed how they do air shows. So they still have them. They're not really showcasing the jets up in the sky like they used to with all the performances, because even though it was a rare occasion that we lost a pilot to an accident, it's just, you can't put a price on a life.
Of course.
So they pretty much, I don't want to say fully grounded our Blue Angels, but they have significantly curtailed their performances because of that. They'd rather have them alive than risking their lives up in the air. But the air shows are still around. They see a lot of cool older planes that have been retired, get some history, lots of food. The squadrons and units get together, and it's they have their own food booths. And when you purchase food or crafts or whatever, the money goes back into the military community. It goes into those squadrons and those units. So you're supporting internally our service members, and when they're at work, all kinds of programs and stuff they have for service members.
I'm gonna have to look it up locally to see whether or not I'm near anywhere that actually does air shows. I'm gonna have to see, because I think I've got several family members that would be very interested in aeronautical engineering, or is it aerospace engineering? If I get them in that direction. So the Navy piloted Blue Angels. Are you correcting me in the private chat, Culture? It's okay.
Yeah,
if you
they
are.
are Navy. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to be quiet about it.
Is it Air Force? It's the Golden Angels, and the Navy is the
Blue Angels or the
Blue
Navy
Angels.
pilots. Yeah.
Okay. Somebody
Air Force does
fully
have its
correct me.
own-
I understand I'm ignorant on this.
U.S. Navy Blue Angels.
But Air Force does have one, or had one. I forgot what they were called. We had
Yeah,
two.
and they actually have a show coming up on July 4th weekend. They will be at the Traverse City, Michigan National
Thunderbird.
Charity Festival.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
Thunderbirds is the
Thunderbirds.
Thunderbirds, that was it. There you go.
There you go. There you go. And the Rocketeer.
not to be confused with the Thundercats, which is coming soon.
Yeah. I would love to see them try to do Thundercats. I haven't seen He-Man, so I can't really weigh in on that one, but I would love to see them try to do Thundercats. Do we know how Universal is tracking who has admittance to what parts of Epic Universe? Yes. Facial tracking technology. And it creeps me out. But if you want to get into Epic, they take your picture and then they'll check you again on the way in. But you better keep your ticket with you, because I don't trust facial tracking technology either. All right. Well, in a little while, there's going to be a show, and it's going to be it's going to be an interesting show. Maybe with chips and guacamole. It'll be in a dish.
The dish.
the
Ron, what do you
dish.
got today on the dish?
We're going to talk about the performance of that alien Spielberg movie.
Disclosure.
Oh,
How it's called.
Disclosure Day. Yes, as fans are calling it, Disappointment Day.
Yikes.
Apparently,
They just
and
expect
Culture-
more
Culture
from
gave
him.
a
That's
great-
why.
Culture's review is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Telling us that he went to go see it, so we don't have to. Thank God, from what I understand. And yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit more about that. And I believe we have a very special spirited friend coming on board for that discussion. Hopefully,
Oh, that's
he
great.
knows it. The,
I'm not sure if he
LW
knows it
Ghost.
yet, but he's going to be featured in a video on another channel that is not a That Park Place channel. I did
Wow.
hear a little rumor about that. So I'll have to be more specific with him later if he's not aware of it. So go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and there's I've been mixing things up on the dish show so that we don't always have the same group of panelists all the time. So I think Erica's coming on board today, and then there'll be another fun panelist that people haven't seen a whole lot of. So
Mm-hmm.
we're mixing it up.
Speaking of which, we got 2 more super chats before we hit the button. Woofle McGruffle the third for $2. Good news. I walked near a movie theater today.
I feel you. We drive by ours all the time. I'm like, oh, we drove by a theater today.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that.
I'm still salty about the fact that they shut down our theater. I bought A-List and then they shut our AMC down.
Oh,
And then when I called AMC to be like, hey, y'all, you're not living up to your end of the bargain on this one. I pay for A-List. You need to let me cancel my A-List. And like, nope, sorry. They didn't give me my money back. And they barely gave me money back for the tickets that I had already paid for after the theater was I didn't know when I bought tickets.
right.
And what's worse is when I finally did go see that movie, it wasn't very good. Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle, member for 8 months. Groovy. Good to see you flying blind on a rocket cycle. All right. Well, that is the end of that Park Place for the day. You all need to be going out and subscribing to Erica and Raph, checking out Brood Banter when they stream. If you haven't done it on a daily basis, Culture Casino is doing the 6-minute daily. And then MJ, what would you like to talk about that you do?
I'm pretty easy. I'm on X and Instagram.
All
And
right.
I'm invited on as a guest to a few shows, and I try to update it on my YouTube channel, but I'm not professional like all of you on here.
Are you
with
not
your
on
fancy videos?
Aren't you on the Vashguy Parkcast?
Oh yeah, I have that on my YouTube channel as well. Thank you so much. I can shout out, the shows if you'd like, but I didn't know how much time we had.
Well, I wanted to give
I'm
you the
absolutely
opportunity.
there. Yeah, no, Vashguy Parkcast goes live every Wednesday at 2 p.m. following that Park Place, and Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Do not miss that. Very good stuff. Vash is a extremely professional historian on all theme parks across the globe.
He is. And I actually, one thing I need to add, I'm in the doghouse tonight over on Floral's channel right before the pro show.
Scruffy's house? That's a cool place to be.
Over on Floral from Under a Rock. So I'll be hanging out with Scruffy.
That's
All
awesome.
right. Well, with that being said, I am really bad at ending live streams. So, like and subscribe, and I'll